Some days it'd feel like I'd been gutted, I suppose, a bit like a fish. I guess for the first, I don't know, several months, I was numb. You find that grief pervades, and you realize how quickly a person has impacted upon your life in ways you weren't aware of. This was something lifelong. I don't know, there was something about her. Probably really one of the only girls who really paid any interest in me at that time. She enjoyed life. She had an appreciation of life that I guess I didn't at that point. Having cystic fibrosis meant she wasn't sure how long she'd live, so she embraced life fully. Together, I guess, I felt that we could do anything.
Why did you marry Sam when you knew she would die?
Good question. I never thought of it like that. In fact, I guess I married her because I loved her.
Morning! Right, now it's time to take my morning tablets. So I'll tip one up to show you. Right, now, first of all, we have a cocktail of vitamins. These are vitamins A and D, that's vitamin E. This is called a proton pump inhibitor, an antifungal, bronchodilator, CF-related liver disease, steroids to keep your airways open again. And this is a chewable vitamin K tablet, another vitamin supplement. Tastes wonky. What do we do, Sam? I'm capable.
It's fine, I just want you to put the seeds in there.
Alright, fine. Let's get out. Oh, sorry. Basically, Luke does the hard work and I just do the little bits. And take credit for it. There's got to be some, bonuses to being a bit crippled.
Best bloody sister.
And how do you feel being 27?
It's really old.
Well done, Sam.
No, nothing major's happened at all. It's just kind of carrying on the same old. Yep, that's right. Yep, still wash and dress myself. Yep. Well, we've got to hope that this is only a short-term thing, You hope and pray that we'll get the transplant soon and then we can live a normal life again.
What we'd quite like to do is go to a theme park, actually, on the roller coasters and so on, because obviously they won't allow Sam to go on these contraptions with oxygen, because there's nowhere to put it, and one doesn't
Probably
want...
quite dangerous.
It's probably quite dangerous. You can imagine, I don't know, something...
It coming loose.
Yeah,
and whacking someone
the
in the head.
centrifugal force would be so great that, this canister would be launched into a crowd and would cause, serious damage. We're constantly investing in, say, experience and and our lives, and not necessarily for the future because we're unsure about it.
Because I don't think, being as ill as I am now, I'm not sat here thinking I wish I'd done this. Are you?
No, not at all.
I think, we had a pretty good time.
Well, we still are.
Well, we still are, I know. But I mean, and hopefully we still will.
And we still will, I should think. I'm fascinated in science and fascinated in how things sort of work. And I suppose if I sort of just get really into that sort of the research and the subject matter, that allows me some escapism.
Show us what you've got there.
This is my best friend's thesis. Basically, Luke has actually provided something useful to the world. That's Luke. I know, you wouldn't believe it looking at him, would you?
And I'm his wife.
That's his beautiful wife, Samantha Yates.
Yeah.
We started waiting and hoping that we'd get a transplant. That would give us the sort of life we were sort of just delving into. And we were terrified.
Yeah, it's about 7:30. Yeah, I'm just making this today because I feel a bit lonely. Because Luke's had to work a shift at the synchrotron to continue some of his scientific research. There's times like these I do get really lonely. I have told him occasionally, but he needs to work. Anyway, I'm sure he'll be home soon. Sometimes he doesn't get until the wee hours when he's working at the synchrotron, but such is life. He's got the oxygen cylinder ready. This is my packed bag. So in the packed bag we have a sat nav, bananagrams, we've got the Bible, some doses of drugs, and a change of clothes in here as well. Give me the transplant, I actually don't want to die, and if this could give me an opportunity to live a long life, then please. Okay, we're just on our way to Harefield now because we got a call for a pair of lungs. I don't really know how I'm feeling or thinking. I'm really scared. Part of me doesn't really want it because I'm worried that I might die. But I do want it because I can't carry on like this much longer feeling how I do. I'm just really scared. But we don't really know much about what's going on yet, apart from that it's coming from a non-heart beating donor. Anyway, I'll give you more information as we find it. Okay, well I've just had a shower with surgical scrub and I'm ready to go. I think we're just waiting to hear really whether the organs are viable at the other end. Had blood taken, lots of tests done, signed a consent form, spoken to the surgeon. Not necessarily the one that will do my surgery, but a surgeon. I'm really scared still, but I feel a bit more happy now I'm here. You know what I mean? But it's still the waiting game, really. We'll see how it goes. Bye for now. A lot of people assume that when you get a call, you get a transplant. But that's not the case at all. You get a call and there's a potential that the transplant will go ahead. Well, can I ring you back about that later? because I don't know if we're going to go out tomorrow. We might. We've obviously got to go out for the blood test in the morning.
Do you call your mum a lot?
Yeah, I call her most days, which sounds weird seeing I see her every day. Oh shit.
Slut. Sorry. Doesn't matter. I'll get it later. So you keep a phone close to the bed, presumably.
Yeah, we moved it from the office because it only rings about 3 times. We lost the instruction book, so we don't know how to change it to make it ring longer.
The donor wasn't deemed suitable.
Yeah, the window of time had passed, really. So their lungs were deemed unsuitable or unviable or whatever.
And then we were told that we had to go home.
Well, obviously they told us nicely. Got on McDonald's.
The pool of organs available is very limited. I think if their availability was much greater, I think we'd be waiting for months and not years. My way of fixing it is to keep Sam as well as possible for as long as possible, because that way we maximise our chances of getting organs. So I keep going with that, because ultimately it's only a question of time now.
Oh, we need the disabled badge. I'll put your windows wide open.
Oh, there's pink
I
house.
love this pink house. When we get a house, I would like to paint it.
Pink.
Would
We
you
can live.
mind?
No, I would mind. Yes. As she got more unwell, she became, in my eyes, I guess, more beautiful. And our lives became intrinsically intertwined more and more.
It's really hot at the moment. It's so unbearable. It's unbearable for most of us. I think he's just got way too much hair. Haven't you, Oscar? I've just got back from having a coffee with a friend and I'm just absolutely exhausted. I can barely walk for like more than a third of a mile without getting exhausted. I mean, obviously I've always had CF and I've always got breathless and stuff, but never to this extent. And you know, it's days like these I really want the chance, but I find it hard to focus on the positives.
We'd got a call in January, just after the New Year, with a potential donor. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. It wasn't viable for whatever reason. But the strain, Sam was very sick at this time, and the strain on her meant that a few days later we were in hospital.
Life on the transplant list is not easy, but it's Sam's only chance of survival, and they never give up hope.
The only way I was leaving the hospital was without Sammy. We'd never we'd never leave together again.
Film me.
Film you?
Yeah. It's really dizzy.
I just felt I couldn't endure grief. It is the worst kind of pain, unquenchable and unremitting. And there's nothing you can do about it. Only now can I see, I guess, her influence on me. I guess what I've learned is what it truly means to be alive. I guess it's quite an important personal landscape which I painted, but it also marks a place where we scattered some of our ashes and planted a tree. Right, I guess this is it. And I hope that other patients may find some escapism.
I just don't want to cut into the picture.
No, I understand. I understand.
I bet you wrapping Christmas presents, it must have driven her insane.
Yep.
Wow.
It was always the patient board. We get patient names and room numbers, all the inpatients, and then they took it down, painted the wall. Now they're hanging this. The thing that threatened our relationship, threatened to end us, drew us closer. Of course, you would not want to leave me with such scars. I guess that can't be helped. But our sort of paths crossed, and in doing so, produced something quite wonderful for a time. I guess not everything is made to last.